pretty much the same as infinite. So there's a Chord of Calling for however much that is. Looks like 2, 1.
Looks like 1.
If he gets Malira... Okay. That's still... I still don't think that does it. Jesse's scooping it up. Because of S's... Alright. Well, he's scooping. I don't think that ends the game. Because Malira, he will get infinite bolsters. But Jesse's still gaining life because... Yeah, so because of the Malira infinite bolster, what happens is whenever... So, Viscerous here is sacrificing the Kitchen Finks. It's the same Anafenza combo, except for because of Malira, Kitchen Finks does not get a -1/-1 counter due to persist. So, bolster triggers will go on a stack infinitely. So his guys are infinitely large. But what happens is each time the Kitchen Finks comes back, Jesse's gaining a life. But then there's also a bolster trigger to combat that. So Jesse's still fine. Jesse is still at infinite life. Jesse scooped though. So that was the end of the game.
Yeah, getting into matches where you got infinite on infinite is kind of rough.
Yeah, it's a different style of Magic for sure. It becomes more like a chess match of sorts because you both see what's going on, but it's a matter of who has the better understanding.
Yeah, I don't think Jesse had any way to really win that game main deck.
Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, Scavenging Ooze in the main.
Yeah, if he could have gotten a Scavenging Ooze, then George would not have been able to... He would have eventually been able to infinite him. It would have taken a few more turns, but George gets to scry through his entire deck and figure out what he wants every single time. Yes, Jesse has infinite life, but George has multiple infinite creatures. That's true, but only one bolster trigger goes on the stack each time Kitchen Finks comes back, and Jesse gains a life each time the Kitchen Finks comes back. So the 1-to-1 equals out, so that the game's not over.
Yeah, Relic would work also.
Yeah, Relic of Progenitus would work as well. Anything that bothers the graveyard.
I would imagine Jesse would have some
not the second
relics.
attack. That's true. On the following turn, if Jesse didn't have enough blockers, he would die. Like, the only way Jesse can win that game is if he has some sort of a sweeper in his deck. I don't think Elves has access to sweepers, at least in the main deck. I mean, they are playing white, so they might have something along the lines of a Day of Judgment, but probably not.
No, I think a sweeper kind of goes against his game plan.
Yeah, it doesn't work. No. He doesn't. He only... Every time a bolster trigger goes on the stack, that means Jesse's gained a life. Not multiple bolster triggers don't go on the stack at the same... from one creature. I wish I could, like... draw this out. But if George bolsters enough to where he sacrifices the Kitchen Finks 1,000 times, and he bolsters that, so he gets 1,000 bolster triggers, and he puts it on 2 different guys. Yeah, Jesse gains a life each time the Kitchen Finks comes back. So he might have 1,000 bolster triggers, but Jesse's gained 1,000 life. I have no clue what piece of
Yeah.
paper George just held up. I assume it had a word on it.
I think Jesse was on a mulligan to 6 again.
Yeah, Jesse Mulligan. It looks like there's a Nykthos in his hand. He played the Nykthos.
Yeah, it's not a creature there, Jesse.
If you're playing lands in front, at least do it naturally. He's probably doing it to annoy us.
I bet everybody hates me if I'm on there. Play my lands on the side.
Yeah, you play yours like side to side. I think Matt does that too. I'm gonna play mine like Adrian Sullivan. Play everything upside down.
Well, Jesse is off to a very, very quick start there, it looks like.
Yes.
But what does he have left
So
in
there was
his
a turn
hand?
2 Elvishark Druid, and now he has another Sun. It looks like 2 collected companies.
Wow. Well,
I can't see what the second card is. I know one of them's a collected company. So you can just activate Nykthos for 4. Collected company.
and let's see what he hits.
Looks like a bunch of Mana Dorks and some Elvish Visionaries.
I think I saw at least 2 visionaries. I think. Oh, and that
Oh, and an Archdruid. That's pretty good. George does have a Malira in play, so he is close to the combo. He kind of needs to survive, though. This is a... So, Archer can attack this turn. It's a 3-3. Yeah.
Did he main phase that collect the company?
Yeah, that was main phase. So there's the attack for 3. George is down to 17.
There's a Verdant Catacombs. Oh, and he just has to pass back.
There's a pass. It's not very good for George, but that doesn't mean he has a... He does not have the Kitchen Finks turn 3. So turn 4 combo is a little more difficult. That's aggressive. So there's 2, 3, 4 3/3s and a 4/4.
10. He's got 16 swinging.
He might... It looks like a lot of Court of Callings in George's hand, but it looks like he had a Birds of Paradise. I'm surprised he didn't cast. So George is down to 1. That hurts. Because now his Verdant Catacombs doesn't do anything. And he has a Gavney Township in hand, so I don't think he thought out his turn.
When Jesse casts the Heritage Druid.
So that's another 3-3. So I don't believe George
Yeah,
did. I think it was possible for George to win that game, but he didn't think out what was going to happen, so he wasn't able to. Because he had 2 Court of Callings in hand, so he could have Court of Calling for 1, and then on the following turn playing the Gavney Township instead of the Verdant Catacombs, and then on the following turn played another land that wasn't anything like a Verdant Catacombs, and he would have been able to Court of Calling for 3, I believe, because he would 4, 5 play land 6. So he would have been able to infinite combo there and gain infinite life if he had played the Gavney Township had another untapped
Oh, it could be
mana
he didn't
that
have
doesn't
the other,
deal
didn't have
damage.
the other mana, though.
Yeah. But he could have drawn it for turn. So it's always... You have to be careful to think out your turns in that situation. Because if he had played the Gavney Township, he had a way to win the game. But because he didn't, he put himself in a rather poor position and wasn't able to give himself a shot of drawing the perfect cards.
Looks like Jesse's going to keep his configuration, and George has went back to sideboard.
Yeah, I'm not sure what comes in for either player. Jesse probably has some sort of graveyard hate. Maybe like an additional scavenging ooze.
Or imagine he might have a relic or 2.
Or you have Relic of Prudence, that's a good one. Or Rest in Peace.
Yeah, he is playing white.
It looked like I saw some sort of a red land in George's sideboard. I'm not. It looked like a stomping ground. What that could mean is he has Alicia who smiles at death in his sideboard. Um, I don't. He didn't bring it in because I saw the stomping ground in the sideboard, but it's interesting. I believe there's a variant of Abzan Company that topped an IQ or Premier IQ or topped something, did well, and had Alicia in order to bring back Fulminate Mage infinitely and kill your opponent's lands.
That is some good plays.
It's spicy. It is spicy to say the least. I never thought of Murmuring Bosk in this Abzan deck. It makes sense.
Yeah, it could possibly be for Ancient
It
Grudge.
could be for Ancient Grudge, but the Abzan Company deck generally has a good matchup against Affinity. It could be for Ancient Grudge, for sure. Normally, if they side anything, they side creatures that kill artifacts, so things like Kataki or Reclamation Sage. I'm sure there are a few others. Okay, so the Alicia who smiles at death, that little sideboard package, yep, did some work for mana at the GP against Scapeshift. No Valakut for you. Just keep on Fulminate Mage, maging all their lands. They're not gonna be able to Scapeshift for enough to be able to Valakut kill you. I believe that George and Matt are on similar lists, so Jesse's going to keep 7 this time. I assume that's what that hand pump was. Yep. Alright, we're underway. There's a Windflip Heath. George has not had a turn 1 play any of these games, which is very different for all the mana creatures and Viscera Seers in the deck. So George is going to fetch at the end of Jesse's turn, going down to 19. Getting that Murmuring Bosk.
Well, he sure loves grabbing that first thing, doesn't he?
I mean, it produces all 3 colors of mana. Very helpful.
It produces green-black. Just 2.
For sure.
I'm pretty sure it was just 2, wasn't it?
I don't think so. Because it was meant to, like, cast Duran easily. Flavor. Yep. So it's Cave's a colorless, but it's a forest. You have to.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think, flavor-wise, it was meant to cast Doran easily. Yeah, so there's another fetch. Grabbing a swamp.
That's another Guru land right there.
Another Guru land. He is going all out on these basics.
Now, I like the alpha and beta basics, but I don't want to spend the money on those Gurus.
I'm a fan of the alpha and beta basics.
Yeah, because you borrow them off of me all the time, don't you?
I definitely.
I think
frequent
Jesse's
that.
a little bit land light there.
I can't see what's in Jesse's hand that would make him keep something like a hand like he kept, because he only had Nettle Sentinels and Forests, it seems. And
I think he has at least one Heritage
he
Druid.
bricked again. Okay, if he has Heritage Druid, this is very good for him. Okay, so George fetched again and played a Kitchen Finks, so he's up to 17. He's getting close to the combo if he has a Viscerous here.
No, I can't see what's in George's hand. I don't think he has a black creature.
So there's a Heritage Druid, there's tapping 3. APAC Basics and Ice Age Islands. I do actually like the snow covered basics. All right, so there's gonna be a lot of mana made. I'm gonna make sure that they do this correct.